Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a super highly requested video. You guys have really been asking for it, so here it is, a foundation routine plus highlight and contour. I also filmed how I got the eyes done and also how I did her brows, so make sure to stay tuned for that next week. But for now, enjoy this flawless foundation routine. Sam's skin is already prepped and good to go, so to get started, I'm going to use my favorite primer at the moment, and that's the Becca Backlit Primer. It just creates the most beautiful glow, and it also gives you the perfect canvas for any foundation. I've tried this product with a lot of foundations, and it works great with everything. For foundation, I'm going to use a full coverage one by Nars. This is the All Day Luminous in the shade Mont Blanc. For full coverage foundations, I usually do dots all over the face, just so I don't have too much product or too much buildup in one area. And of course, I use my beauty blender just to blend it all in. I much prefer sponges when it comes to a fuller coverage foundation, just to make sure everything looks soft and natural. Using an oldie but a goodie, I'm going to grab my Trish McEvoy Instant Eye Lift just to get rid of any under eye darkness. This product is one of my go-tos, especially for someone who has more of a fair complexion. It works every time. Trish recommends to apply this under the eye in a triangle and then just to press it in really gently. So for me, I like using a sponge with this product just to really get more coverage. But as you can see, you can also use your finger as well. So repeating the same thing, I'm going to do that triangle under the eye, and I'm going to grab my beauty blender and I'm just going to press that into the skin really gently. Now to highlight, I'm going to grab my Nars Creamy Radiant Concealer in the shade Chantilly. To get that under eye really nice and bright, I'm going to create a triangle. This is what we call in the industry a triangle of light. In order to create this, all you have to do is start from the nostril, take it to the tear duct area, and then stop right where your eyeball comes to an end on the outer corner. You don't want to make this too wide because then if you do, it might make the face appear rounder, and we want it to appear skinnier. To really enhance her bone structure, I'm going to apply some of this in the center of the face. This is also going to help to make her appear more slim because we're elongating the face. So when you elongate the face, it creates a more slender appearance. Now that I completed the highlighting portion and mapped out her face, I'm just going to blend everything in a pressing and dabbing motion. This is going to help to create more of that fuller coverage effect, and it's also going to help to press that product into the skin. I always recommend doing the pressing and dabbing motion when you're blending out your highlight. Highlighting and contouring is all about proportions. Don't forget that, you guys, because you're enhancing your bone structure and taking it to the next level. As you can see, when I blended her highlight out, I kept it between this golden ratio of the arches of her brows. I didn't take it any further than that because if I did, it would have made her forehead appear wider, and I definitely don't want to do that. Trust me, I've done this before, and I've had to learn through lots of trial and error what's the most flattering thing for women and their faces and their bone structure. For Sam and her oval face, this is the best technique to use. And after a year of blending, you're left with flawless. To set that beautiful blend, of course, I'm going to use one of my favorites, the Mercier Translucent Powder, in my Trish McEvoy number 48 brush. I love this brush because it picks up the product really nice, but it doesn't over apply. I am just setting the under eye, I'm not baking, so that's why I went for a brush versus a sponge. A sponge would pick up way too much of that powder and it'd be much more appropriate for baking. To set the highlight on her nose, I'm going to use the same brush. I'm just going to pinch it to make it much more tapered. That way it fits just in that little area and you see it worked perfectly. Try pinching some of the brushes that you already own at home and you'll see that you can use them in different ways. Now to get some contouring done, I'm going to grab my Nars Yachiyo and my Anastasia contour kit. I'm going to mix the colors Havana and Fawn together to create the perfect shade. I'm going to map out Sam's face using her natural bone structure to guide me. For everyone, I find that this is the golden ratio, especially when you're contouring the forehead area. I start where the arch is and I go straight up with my brush just to see where I want to take that contour to. You don't want to take it in too far because then you're going to make it look like your forehead is shrinking, and it's all about enhancing your natural features and making them pop. It's not about making them look worse. So definitely try to map out your face before you get started with your contouring. Now that I finished one side of the face, you can see the difference. I kept it between that golden ratio just to keep the proportions right. It's all about mapping out the face and enhancing it. Don't forget that, you guys, you definitely don't want to take it in too far because it's not going to be flattering. So that's why I stopped right there, but I'm going to keep on blending because you know I love to blend. Repeating on the other side, you can see that the whole forehead is coming together. I'm also just going to pull her hair back and really blend into the hairline. For me, this is one of my favorite tips I can give you guys because it's going to give you that airbrush effect, and there will be no harsh lines, and it's going to be much more natural. With that same Nars brush, I'm just going to pinch it to get it to be much more tapered, and this is going to help to get that perfect contour in the cheek area. Contouring is not easy, and I know that, so one of the best tips I can give you to find the perfect placement for that contour powder is to grab any random brush, line it up to the ball of the ear and the corner of the lip, and with some light pressure, just see where that brush sinks in, and that will show you where the hollow of the cheek is. This will give you a perfect guide on where you want to place that contour powder. It works every time. Don't forget, contouring is all about enhancing the face, so keeping it within proportions. I stop where the arch of the brow is, and then I just grab whatever product's left on my brush and just blend back and up. You don't want to see any harsh lines, so definitely don't skip this step. Blend, blend, blend until your arm goes numb. Don't forget to blend. After a year of blending, you can see the result that we're left with. The right side of her face is much more enhanced and has a lot more definition, and this is what contouring is all about. Repeating on the other side now, I'm just going to start at the back of the ear, blending back and up and stopping where her eyebrow arches just to keep everything proportionate. Next, to carve out those cheeks, grabbing the same foundation brush that I used earlier, and whatever product was left on that is what I'm going to use just to help clean up the cheek area. This is not something that you have to do, but for me, I like doing this step because it really takes that contour to the next level and it really makes that cheekbone pop. And once again, just repeating on the other side, as you guys can see, I use that brush starting at the back of the ear and I line it up to the corner of the lip. It's all about ratio and proportion, so don't forget to use your natural bone structure to guide you. Next, grabbing that beauty blender that we used earlier, and with whatever product is left on it, I'm just going to use this to buff out any harsh lines to give it that really airbrushed blended effect. I'm not using any more foundation, I'm just relying on whatever product is left on here to help smooth out those edges. To contour her nose, I'm just going to grab my Makeup Forever number 144 in the shade Fawn by Anastasia. To figure out how to contour your nose correctly, use your own bone structure to guide you. With your brush, line it up to the nostril and take it straight up to the brow, and you'll see that this is going to give you a great little cheat sheet on where to place that powder. So start on the bridge of the nose and just blend down right to the nostril area. This is definitely something you need to do, so blend, blend, blend because you want no lines on the nose. To complete the nose, I'm just going to draw a V on the nostril area, and I'm going to connect that to the lines that we created on the bridge of the nose. This is going to help to create that slim effect that I'm going for, and also it's going to just create much more symmetry. As you can see, it really helped. To give that skin that beautiful glow, I'm going to grab Becca's Pearl and my Makeup Forever number 144 brush. Starting on the cheekbone, I'm just going to layer this product on top of each other multiple times. I was going for a very glowy skin look, so I definitely wanted to really build that product on top of each other. I really like how the Becca products don't get cakey or heavy, and if you do over apply it, it does blend beautifully, so it's definitely a user-friendly product to use. Alright guys, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it and learned a lot. Let me know what you think in the comment box below. You know I love hearing from you guys. I know it's been a long time coming. You guys have really been requesting a foundation routine, so that's why I decided to throw some contouring in there as well. Also, make sure to enjoy the preview of the brow tutorial, and the eye tutorial is coming out as soon as I finish editing it, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys next week, same time, same place.
you.